Let's see how good I can wing it with no template. Ow!
Casey, I don't believe the things that work in your head work in real life, dude.
Okay, so I'm not promoting being a hoarder, but freaking awesome fabrication welding table. It worked in my head and real life, yes! Long story short, if you hurt yourself, you can't sue me. Do you agree?
Sure.
All right. What's up, people? Welcome back to the King Zero V12 supercar build. And today's video is going to be very exciting because lots of work on the car is going to happen. No, it's not. And I know you bunch are now disappointed, but don't be. Come here, I want to show you some stuff. So the thing with this build, and I'm going to be, I'm generally honest in everything, but sometimes people don't want to show you everything going on because it can be difficult. My project stalled a little bit. Because to be perfectly honest, I got burned out about a month ago with this. Like, burned out. When you burn the candle at both ends and then throw the whole thing in the fire, it's rough, okay? So the point of this I'm gonna make is I actually wanna show you guys everything I'm doing with the shop to get it ready. So right here, at Christmas time and the New Year's, I can get back on this fresh and make it go. So I'm gonna talk to you about the tools and the metal and everything going and how I've reset up the shop. That's really gonna be today's video. But right now, I just want to talk to you guys about the nature of projects because YouTube and YouTube builders can show you whatever they want to show you. You know, it's impossible for you to see everything. And it's also difficult for me because I don't have a magic camera crew here all the time. So just doing the video and getting something worthwhile and getting it out to all of you and then interacting takes time, and to do it right and showcase it and to keep it going and flowing. But the other aspect about doing YouTube is it's a full-time job in itself to make the videos, to present them, to edit them, to get them out, to interact with people. But to create content, I also have to build all this insane stuff. It's really time consuming, whether it's the King Zero or we're doing the 944 project that's cheap, or like maybe next year when the Genius Garage students come back, we're working on a Genius Garage car, or we're fixing up the Corvette, or we're doing the Omega car, or we're gonna do sweet stuff to the Dune Buggy, gonna do some suspension soon. It all takes a lot of time. And so for instance, so like Ed Bolian with Vin Wiki, which I do there, so people come in, he meets them, they tell a bunch of stories in a row, then you put them in the thing, you edit them, and you get them out. So his active work aspect, other than being a much bigger channel than mine, of course, is interacting with people. But each story can be told, the actual amount of time it takes to do it may only be 20 minutes to 45 minutes, and it's cut down for a story. But for me, it may be 3 days of labor to make a video to show you guys. So that'll get to you. I mean, that's a lot of work, and that's okay. That's what I signed up for. That's what I enjoy so much about doing this. So I appreciate you guys being patient when, if I'm doing something, I can't necessarily show the work because I'm by myself, you know, or we're doing a different video. And I also really appreciate Avalon King for supporting this channel so I can do really cool artistic things and show you guys that. The product is awesome. I'm gonna be using it on the 944 here next. I got to, it's my daily driver, it's the best thing. So do check out their stuff if you haven't, and if you have, get some more for your buddies. It works really well, and they support the car community like no other company I've seen. So it's too much, I got burned out. And the other thing is 2020 kind of sucks for everybody, and 2021 is coming up. So for me and this channel to keep growing and getting better and having more content and just the quality upping and doing all that, it requires a tremendous amount of planning. And the thing that's difficult, I want you guys to know is, so when I come in here in the morning, I could think like, oh, I've just got one email or one phone call to write. The next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I haven't picked up a wrench, a welder, or even shot a video, nothing. It's all office stuff, and it's impossible for that not to be. And that happens because of the nature of the lifestyle and trying to do something big next year in the future. And you guys may know, and I know I'm talking a lot right now, but I want to share with you guys the nature of doing a build like this. The key thing about YouTube is, in doing these builds, if all I wanted to do with my life is stay in this cool building and build cool stuff, that would be awesome. And showcase on YouTube and grow and connect with the community and have different sponsors and do different projects. And that is an absolute dream. And I'm excited because this in many ways is my dream, and I just feel like me, and I can be as goofy as I want and honest as I want and showcase stuff with you guys. And that's awesome. But I have a funky personality type. And that's not good enough. You know what I mean? Like there's a place of being happy with what you got, but you've got to keep going and growing. And racing is something I'm good at and I've always wanted to take a big swing with. So as you guys may have seen with the IndyCar bound video and the sprint car test recently, Silver Crown car to be specific, at what used to be Indy Raceway Park, now Lucas Oil, going to be doing some professional driving next year. So getting all those things set up, and also the potential of there being some cars here and having to like revamp the shop and getting things ready and all, it's a tremendous amount of time. So enough of that blather. I want to show you guys how I've set up the shop for the King Zero. So last we left off, the exhaust is basically being fabbed up, but it needs mounts, it needs clamps, it needs it needs to be coated. Also, I've got the big Huang, as it's pronounced, wing, if you want to pronounce it like a loser, in place. I took these sawhorses and I made these wooden cradles so I could put the wing in place, and then I made the mount here. So then from there, when the wing is where it needs to be in relation to the body, then I can create the steel structure to hold it. And I want to make that steel structure so it can bolt on up there. So if I want to remove the wing and the aerodynamics and go like the rally style, you know what I mean, where it's shorter, doesn't have all this ridiculousness on, I can, and then you won't see the frame. So that's what I'm working on. The other thing with regard to King Zero is, so you have loads and loads of labor, like the body forming, that's coming up real quick. You're going to see the tools. But ordering the things that I have to have before it's time, like whether it's exhaust pieces or I'm figuring out the really clever way to do the tail lights, like that's what I'm working on right now. What is the experimental way? And it's so difficult sometimes because with the tail lights and how they're going to go in here, I have to figure out how I'm going to make that and execute that, which is a tremendous amount of research and like testing and prototyping, so I know how to make the sheet metal to attach the stuff that I haven't done yet. That's what's so crazy. Let me show you something with this. So this is the initial frame for what is the windshield that holds the windshield, and is also how you get in the car, right? And you can step over this no problem, but I made a heftier structure here. So if you want to step in this area, you can. It's going to have heftier sheet metal, although I'm not entirely pleased with how I did it, so I may redo some of this. But anyway, so, and I also need a place to put a latch for the door. So this is effectively the outer frame for what will be the windshield. Now, if you come here and look carefully, this is fairly dainty, okay? And when I made this, the wire form, the wire buck was right here. And then I started welding the tubes, the transverse tubes, this one here and this one here. They're square tubes, steel tubes here. And then I had to hand bend these to match the curvature of it, which was funny because I just took the steel tube and jammed it in the frame and would like bounce on it to bend it and get it in place, okay? And then if you look up here, I used some old rod ends for like race car suspension. That's pretty hefty, right? And that's why they look kind of skunky. And I just welded the nut onto here, and it threads into that, and then there's a jam nut, and then, you know, the bolt that holds it through to the frame. So I had to also build this amount of the structure, which holds all this. Now, so the other part where like this just like, there's different parts of your brain, so to speak. You know how people like say left, right, left brain, right brain, creative, engineering, male, female, ego, all that crap, right? All that stuff. Like when you have to flex so many different parts of your brain all the time, eventually you're gonna get tired out. And there's certain like places of thought when you have to do all the engineering in your head, and then you have to think of all the levels of what's going on. And then you have to like get yourself in the position to think that hard and build something concretely, and then like later get out and then talk on a camera, and it like, yeah, it's a lot after a while. So the frame here, this is the initial one. And this is where the sheet metal will be welded to and come out to where the edge is. Now this will not actually hold the windshield. There will be another steel framework that will bolt through to this transversely, that the windshield will come in from the bottom and have a little bit of like sealing silicone glue or something like that that comes up to the bottom of the sheet metal, so it'll be real flush and nice, and then that will bolt in here. And then the rest of the roll structure here, which I gotta wait until I'm finished creating that, which you need in case somebody comes over top of you, will have fingers so that it supports the frame and the windshield to help glance things away. Because actually, the windshield will come, I think the windshield starts about here in the back area and right about here in the frontal area, and then it comes in about that far. So it's not actually the whole area. So that's kind of it with that. So the thing about a shop was, this shop, as you guys have seen other times, has been getting super cluttered. One thing that's gone right now, if you guys look, there's no lichen in here right now, which honestly makes me feel really good because that car stresses me out. It's a lot of work. And then managing all students and trying to mentor them, because no offense to the Genius Garage students, none of them are qualified to build the car before they come here. It's a lot of work, mentoring, time, coordinating, everything. And that's not a dig in any way. It's just, it makes me crazy. So the car's not here, it's getting painted, which I'm really excited about, but it gives me a little more room. And so like, okay, just like look around the shop, okay? Let me just walk, kind of vibe with me. I can finally breathe a little bit. Like, I've gone through this whole year and I have not breathed once. It's been like this. Okay. You haven't seen me do that on the channel yet, have you? Yes. Okay, so more relaxed, okay? And it'll be coming back soon enough, but the thing about a shop is when you're doing a bunch of projects or you have a bunch of people working, it's easy for it to get messy and a total mess. I'll give you an example. So these are my AN wrenches, okay? I got 2 kits here, and I let the Genius Garage students use them. This one's missing a wrench, and so is this one. So if one of y'all Genius Garage students that's not here anymore watch this and you remembered where these are that you used them and didn't put them back, I love you, but seriously, you're making me stressed out. So that's kind of it. So like I've got to go through all the Genius Garage tools and find my personal tools that people misplaced, and then I got to go around the whole shop and find everything that's been missing and just make it so that I can do proper work, and there has to be enough room to actually walk around and work. So my tools, these are my personal tools. I know you think I have this giant like magic box. I don't. I bought this when I was in college. This toolbox I bought also when I was in college with my grandfather. That was a good memory, actually. And it's kind of sad because the first 5 years that Genius Garage existed, I just loaned them my tools, let them use my tools. So they're ragged out before somebody actually donated money that Genius Garage could get their own tools. And so I need to go through my sad tools and replace all the things that are broken and missing. And that's what I'm doing right now. So enough about me skitzing out. I want you to come stand over here, cameraman, and look at this beautiful stuff. Yes, look at this. Okay, I'm gonna go on about this for a minute because I'm really excited. So Miller, awesome company, and this is going to minorly ruffle a feather, and I don't care because the people it's going to ruffle feathers are from another company, and that company's got their head so far up their own posterior, I don't think they can see the light of day anymore. And that is exactly how I was fortunate enough to have a nice relationship with Miller, because I had used another company's products for my life in the past, and I wanted to do more with Genius Garage and more with my own stuff, and that company, like, again, they have no idea what's going on in the world anymore at all, and they can't even communicate inside. So I'm like, I've got to find a better relationship. So I called up the Miller people, and I'm like, here's what I'm doing. And I ended up buying this really cool Multimatic Miller. It's TIG and MIG, and it's super smart. You guys have seen me use it, but I'm just pumped about that. And then it was so nice because of, you know, obviously the channel and showcasing it, and Genius Garage, they sent me awesome welding helmets for everybody to use. And recently, this freaking awesome fabrication welding table. Are you serious? Look, it's got the vise, it's got spark shields. So if somebody's over there and somebody's fabricating or something and I'm doing some welding here, I mean, it's shielding from sparks. It's got these awesome clamps. So in the future, like literally you guys, okay, when I was making parts of the King Zero like this, I welded it on the floor like an animal. And now I've actually got a proper welding table. It's gonna be so nice. And then here's some of my new body forming hammers that I've gotten. Actually, I've got to fill this leather bag. This is not from Miller, I'm sidetracked. But this, I'm gonna fill this with, I think it's lead shot or sand, so I can do some hammering. Got an English wheel over there, which I really haven't used yet. And frankly, the English wheel, I'm only gonna barely use on the King Zero because it almost doesn't have any compound curves. That's gonna be for a future project. But I had to, it takes a lot of time to clean up the shop. Like you can just spend days. And that's the other thing that was making me nuts, because the place was such a mess from everybody being here, the students and such, like just organizing old stuff, because I'm not just magically made of money. Like this is my old cabinet from back in the day when I had a shop. Genius Garage has their tools. This is all my old hardware from back in the day, and I let Genius Garage use it. By the way, I don't know what's going on with Worth either. Like, I haven't been able to get new stuff in forever, ever. So don't get all excited. By the way, if anybody from Worth is watching, I would love to reconnect with you in some way, shape, or form. But I mean, it's like you don't exist where I'm at. But I do stuck in the middle of a cornfield, so who knows? Anyway, yeah. So like, and I've got all this old random hardware. Like this was from back in the days when I used to be a Ferrari mechanic. So all the hardware they were going to throw away, I just kept. So I got all this great metric hardware. And then mixed up with a bunch of other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like your kids, and you got all your dad's old hardware. So if I need to find some weird thing, I just get to looking. But it takes a long time to organize this stuff. And the steel too. Here's all the steel for the King Zero, right? So I order it from Alro, and then I just put the long pieces here, and then I decide what I want in my head and how I'm gonna design it. And then I've got my chop saw here, so I just shoot, knock that thing. And I got a grinder, and we've got a tube. I got a tube saw hole frame notcher thing, and this needs to be cleaned up. I know, it's a mess. But, so I got the Miller table here. I'm real excited about that. And then here's the sheet metal brake, which is really cool. And this one's better than the one we had. It's like the most economical one I could get that would be worth a darn and bend what I need. So I'm really happy about this. And then you can remove these fingers and change the size and stuff. So if you need to make little boxes and stuff, you can. So this is where I'm starting to get more into the fabrication aspect. And I would like to, in the future, if we're gonna do a big Genius Garage project again, I don't wanna do some supercar that already existed. I think Genius Garage students should get to just build their own car. I think that would be awesome. And it's something that just doesn't happen anywhere else. Come on over here, I'll show you something else. So I just bought this. Now, I know some people are gonna be like, oh, you bought the cheap one. Yeah, I did. I bought the cheaper one. So this is a foot stop metal shear. I gotta get this out of the way. This is the roller. I got this for the King Zero V12, and some of these wires where I needed to get a nice constant radius like right here, instead of trying to bend it on my stomach again, which you can't, you can bend things nice that way, but you need a perfect. I can feed the rod through here and roll it, and you can put whatever curl you want in it. And I can do the same thing with sheet metal. So this is a foot stomp shear, and how this works, and let me find a piece to show you guys. So, oh, that's neat. Somebody's working on that. Okay, so I got a piece of aluminum here. It's relatively thick, and so you can cut it with shears like an animal, or you need something bigger. And for the King Zero, I'm gonna have to cut out big panels, the steel that's over there. And I need to cut a nice straight line. And if you get, this is a throatless shear, if you come on over here and look real carefully. So this allows me to cut smaller pieces and pretty nice curves. So if I wanna, let's say I wanna curve this piece of aluminum here, or steel, I'm just gonna go ahead and kinda draw this on here. So let's say I wanna cut it out right there at that line. So what I'm gonna do is come in here, and I can get it started. Now you gotta make sure that your blades are adjusted nice, and they're nice and tight, so it'll cut well. And you know the throatless shear is going well when you can slice paper with it nicely. The only frustration I've had where the blade's gotten boogered up a little bit and I had to clean it up, and this is the problem, and I'm not knocking it, but like, the trouble with all the students, and I love them to pieces with Genius Garage when they're here, they have not been out in the world long enough or ever run their own business, and they don't necessarily get how important tools and resources and things are. So they're not necessarily thinking, oh, if this isn't adjusted properly and I damage the blade, how expensive and time consuming it will be. So like, I've had to fix it with the guys a couple of times. I'm not complaining, but I'm just being honest with you guys. This is the stuff teachers go through. Only worse for me because I also have to be responsible for all the funding that goes for Genius Garage. And then I use my own tools afterward that are now beat up. So here we go. We're cutting the rest of it. Okay, here we go. Isn't that nice? Look at that. It's pretty good, okay? So I can just cut that out real quick. Now, another shear over here, and this is one that's been awesome. So a couple things. One, it's got a big straight blade. So if I want to cut a straight line that's not real long, okay, so I'm just going to cut off these at 45-degree angles. I'm just going to kind of wing it. Can you see that okay? Watch this. Soup, like butter, like absolute butter. So I'll cut this one off here. I can do this probably with like one finger right here. Look at that. Absolute butter right through aluminum. But let's say, and this is the 1/4 inch cold rolled steel that I use to do the wire form of the King Zero. And how I would cut this quickly and easily is this hole also allows you to cut steel up to a certain size. So if I want to cut that much off, I'm going to stick it through there minus the thickness, which would be here. And I'll stick that in there up to where my finger is, kind of gauge it that way, and go like that. And then boom, now I've got 2 pieces that are that size. So that's how I cut that right there. But I want to show you guys the foot stomp shear because I'm really excited about that. Aaron, if you walk up here, you can probably look down. Now, if you look down in here, if you can see, this whole thing up here moves. And I can stand, that's why it's called a foot stomp. You got to jump on it. And it's basically this big metal guillotine. And what first happens is this comes down and holds your metal. See, like now it's held. Well, it's not held that tight, but like it's holding it, right? It comes down and holds the metal. And then this comes down and slices it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut a little bit of this off so you can see get rid of this jagged line. And I'm gonna just do this kind of the artsy fartsy way. There's ways to put in guides and stuff. I just want to knock a little off and have a nice straight cut. So here we go. Yes. I wish I had this when I was younger. Oh, that is cool. That's insane. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Boom! So I'll go ahead and cut off the other rough edge. Trim that up. Okay, here we go. Now, obviously, this is just one little area of sheet aluminum, so it's pretty easy to cut. It's relatively thick, but it doesn't go the whole way across. So if I'm cutting thin steel, I'll probably have to be like, boom, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on with that. Now, here's something I want to test. We're just going to do this together because I have not even tried it yet. So with the King Zero, what if I have a longer, bigger piece around here somewhere? Let's see, what do I got laying around? Aaron, do we have any steel laying around? We got this. This is too thick though. This is like, that's super thick. What's this? Oh, here we go. All right, so this is gonna be an interesting test. So, this is the thickness of steel that I'm gonna use on the King Zero. So if you come over here and take a peek, so let's say, I'm just trying to think, because this isn't really that big a piece to cut any big thing out. So let's just say I wanted to, this piece of metal sucks. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's say I want to cut this out. So this triangle area here, I would, what I'm going to do is make a cardboard template, and then I need to make that piece. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to kind of try to wing it a little bit. This may not be a good idea. Okay, let's see how good I can wing it with no template. Cool. Okay, so there you go. There's my template. So what I'll do is I'll figure I want to cut this piece off so I can get to it first. So if you come over here and look, Aaron, come over here, you see. I'm going to stick this through. Can you see down in there? The piece? Okay, so I'm going to go just a little extra. Let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, that's nice. No problem. 1 foot, real easy. Okay, so slice that real well. Warped it a tiny bit. But no big deal. I mean, this metal's very easy to form. Might have been from hitting the floor, I don't know. Okay, next piece. Okay. Clean up that edge. Probably should have done that to start with. Could have knocked a little more off. Now I gotta cut that off. Knock off this edge. All right, so we got a piece. Let's see how close it is. That is not terrible for doing it really fast. Come on over here and look over my shoulder if you want. So you guys, now I think this will give you an idea of how I'm gonna actually create this thing. So this piece already, literally just knocking it out like that with no template, and I still have to grind some of this stuff smooth. This is literally how I'm going to form the car with the panels. And the King Zero is primarily all Actually, I didn't do too bad of a job with it. Now this panel needs to be flat. I could have stand and not cut that off because now there's a little gap right there. That's annoying. And what I can do is TIG weld this right there like this to the edge. However, I have to finish the inside paneling first before I get to doing this too much. So I'm gonna leave this piece right here. But let me think about this for a second. We could have a little fun. All right, let's get some paper. Where the heck did the paper go? Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm not promoting being a hoarder, but I'll keep stuff like this around, which was packaging material for, I don't even remember what it was packaging material for. All right, so I need a marker or something. Is it in my pocket? Oh, it is in my pocket. I'm stupid. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, now I'm only doing this for the sake of this video. This wouldn't be the piece I would make right now. I would start at the bottom more. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. I don't know if this is gonna work for the darn. I'll probably end up developing a new technique later that's less stupid. Okay, so what I'm gonna try to do is give myself a pretty good indication of where this is. Now what I'd like to do, I'll probably get like a piece of charcoal or something, like it's art class and I'm doing an etching. You know what I'm saying? Wait, I already screwed this up. Okay, I need tape. This is going badly. Aaron, do you have any brilliant ideas how I could do this better? Do I have masking tape around this joint? I'm not breathing anymore. I'm stressing out again. Okay, I got masking tape. This will work. This will work, I swear. Okay. Also, I think I'm gonna put some. And I'm gonna get a knife. A really sharp knife. I'm being so good and not making any jokes.
Don't make dark humor jokes, Casey. The internet is crazy.
Okay. All right. So, let's see here. Okay, here we go. Be gone, be gone. Okay. Here we go. No, I said be gone. Yes. Go away. Are you regretting staying here longer? Thank you for staying and helping me. So, generally speaking, you want to do this with a little bit more patience than I have right now and time. Where you're chill and you got plenty of time and you're not making your poor camera guy wait around for your lame self. All right, so if you can see here, I'm literally just forming this right at the edge, kind of bending it out, trying to get it sort of happy. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do, come and watch. I've never done this before, it just works in my head, okay? I'm gonna kind of gently stretch it, and I'm literally just gonna take this razor blade and just follow the metal, right? See, isn't this cool? Look at that. Oh my gosh! It worked in my head and real life, yes!
Casey, I don't believe the things that work in your head work in real life.
Hello everyone. Yes, this is the YouTube video where I go mad. Okay. This is going reasonably well. Okay, look at that. Yes. Okay. So then, just take this. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Work, I say. Work, 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 work. Yes, no, yes, no. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Yes, 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 I say work. Okay, that worked reasonably well. Okay, now, same thing over here. Hooray. This is frickin' brilliant. I am not a coach builder, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. No, I did not. That doesn't make you smart. Don't stay at a Holiday Inn Express. Okay. All right, so look. Oh wait, I gotta cut the top. Dude. Okay. Where's the top part? Watch me get like sued by a Holiday Inn now. Holiday Inn is the new Ferrari. Okay. Okay. All right, look at that. So now my idea is we take this as a basic template. We're gonna need some steel. That steel is too thick. Okay. Let's see if I can do this without cutting myself in half accidentally. That is thicker metal, that is thinner metal. Yes! Whoa, 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 whoa! Yeah, that's the gauge I want, okay. I'm gonna grab this fancy Miller table, yes! Oh, who put that on there? That is not as easy as it looks. This is the thicker gauge because that's where you're gonna step. So I'm gonna try to cut the longest piece of steel I've done on this piece. So word of the wise, when you guys are cutting metal, if I cut it here, I'm potentially wasting a bigger piece by having two smaller ones. So I'm gonna go to the side and I'm gonna do it that way, so I waste less metal, basically. Okay. Now this paper is literally junk. I saved some junk, some trash, whatever, to do it. Okay, now, word to the wise. You can cut it. If I cut it too small, it's not gonna work. So when I cut the paper out, it was already a little bigger than it needed to be. So it should be fine, but I don't want to waste this nice piece of steel. Okay, I gotta come over here. I hope this works. Or you're gonna find out how disappointed I am in my foot stomp chair. By the way, you guys, what I'm doing right now is the first time I have ever done this. It's just something that, I kid you not, I know it's gonna sound goofy, but worked in my head. So for all the younger people out there that are thinking that they can do something, good, keep thinking. Figure out the way to do it, and when you know with reasonable confidence that you can execute a plan, do it. Because it's not all gonna be perfect, and that's okay. You gotta start somewhere. Let's see, this is the top. Okay, I gotta write that. Top. Okay. So. Okay, get the table out of the way. Ooh, that's gonna be tricky. We can't really jump on it as well. Aaron, we might have to put the camera down and jump on it together. I'll try jumping on this side first though. It'll be teamwork. Hold up, don't do anything yet. We're good. Okay, so, shoot, I don't know about this. Let me just stand on it and see what happens. See if I can bounce. Ooh, that is a big piece of metal for this. Ow! That only hurt a lot. I don't have enough room. Did you guys know that the human knee is softer than steel? Damn it. What the heck? It shifted. Darn it. How the heck? It's sort of pulled back. That might work. I think I got it now. Shit. Aaron, I tell you what, come over here, please. Will you just put one foot on this stomp and hold it down? Yes. Do you waive all, long story short, if you hurt yourself, you can't sue me. Do you agree?
Sure.
All right. Okay. Oh, are my fingers still attached? Good. Okay. Bounce, 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 bounce. Jump on it. 1, 2, 3. What the heck? What does it say? Cuts up to 16 gauge mild steel. Oh, sure it does. Okay. Wait, something weird's going on. It seems to be. Okay, it was stuck there. Bounce. Yes, bounce, bounce hard. Bounce like you mean it. Bounce, bounce. Yes, jump. This isn't going very well, is it?
I bet OSHA would love us.
OSHA. Well, I'm not a Fortune 500 company. I'm a guy that's trying to get stuff done. All right. Is it down all the way? Is that where we're having a problem? Oh, it only has to go like another inch. Why is it being such a jerk? Okay, let me. It should make it. Yes! That was super easy.
100%.
That was easy. I'm gonna go home and go to bed. Jesus. Okay.
The power of editing. It was super.
With the power of editing and 80s superhero cartoons. Okay. As you can see, that was easy. Okay. Okay, I think I can get the rest of this myself. See how I do. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna line this up. This should be a pretty straight line right here. This should be all right. Now I wanna do this right. If I get it right the first time, then we're good. Yes! Still beats using a hand shear or something, doesn't it? Huh, that's weird. Come on, don't be like that. It starts trying to wiggle it. It still works okay. Probably have to adjust the blade. Now, I'm gonna try to cut this and get that little nice little angle. Kind of like the curvy bit. Boy. Okay, you guys. This is the heavier bit for where you're potentially gonna stand. Hopefully, I got this pretty close. It's relatively close. Actually, that's pretty good. All right. Way to go, Casey. You don't suck at life completely. Wow, that's not bad. Okay, so this, you guys, is really close, and we'll just need a little bit of forming and trimming down so that I can TIG weld it. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to roll this a little. This piece, honestly, is gonna be basically dead flat. I'm not really gonna try to put much of a crown in it. I'm just not. Some of them will get a little bit more of a crown than others, but this one won't get much. So guys, this is basically how you start making the panels. Now, a lot of the reason why I chose this design is, first of all, the original prototype that this is inspired by, the Stratos Zero, was something that inspired me greatly as a young person and still to this day. So I love it. So that's the key, most important part. But honestly, there's a lot of cars that I would like to build that are very complex. They have complex curves. And see, you can see the bend right here. Like, anyway, they have complex curves. But this car is far simpler in that way. So I, being a novice at coach building, but a longtime car builder, fabricator, I wanted to choose a design that I could execute well for my first time and grow at my skill level, just being novice to start with. So that's why I started with this. And the reason I think I'm gonna be successful is, one, I'll take my time and I'm inspired and I love it, but I can cut out pieces that'll fit well. And then if I want to give that just a little bit of a compound curve, I guess I could try it right now. Should I try English wheeling it now or we come back? We'll come back. We'll come back. Anyway, so that's basically it. So that's why I want to finish the structure and everything underneath quick, because when it's time to start doing the body panel, a lot of this will go quickly. You saw that we did this struggling in like 10 or 15 minutes. So you can see that when I start using the thinner gauge stuff and it goes quickly, it'll be going a lot quicker. And I'm gonna bust over to the English wheel, give it a little crown, take about that papillon there. Of course I might have to, you know, trim it. And that's what that nice throatless shear is for. But it's really exciting. I appreciate you guys all following along. I'm doing the best I can to like chill now that most of the Genius Garage is like over with for this year, and there'll be new people coming. We've got some students here now, local guys such as Aaron, who's nice enough to hold the camera. Appreciate you, man. Yes. And we're getting going, but this car will be done in 2021, and I look forward to driving around and doing a bunch of stuff and connecting with you guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and naturally that you will subscribe, but please click that bell so I can continue to bring you wholesome and entertaining automotive content. Also, a huge thanks to Avalon King ceramic coating. They're supporting this channel and making this all possible. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to use it on all of my vehicles, including my old dirt bike. Ceramic coating bonds directly to the surface of your paint, trim, and plastics to give a long-lasting shine that beats all waxes. It lasts for years and it's easy to maintain. I've got it on my Viper right now, and my car has never looked this good. So give them a try. Again, thanks for watching, and I look forward to see you next time.